Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another solo board game playthrough. Today we're going to be playing our first playthrough of Marvel Missions Dice Throne. So this is the Marvel Dice Throne 1 to 4 player cooperative mode that effectively is a boss battler. We will do this mission and try to complete an objective, and then we'll flip the mat over and fight a boss. So we're doing you and Catastrophe. I'll kind of go over stuff as we're playing it, but it's not going to be anything... I'm not going to go super in depth on like rule stuff. I'll go over all the phases and things like that as we're playing through it, but then as time goes on, we'll kind of speed up a bit. First thing I want to note though is we are using Psylocke, and as you can tell right here, this die is missing the coloring. If you might be able to tell. Oh, there you go. It's a 1. So I just have one random die that doesn't have the 1 face, so we know it's a 1. Just want to point that out. And this isn't a mistake. Psylocke has a extra die. We'll go over that in a bit, but let's read over what goes on here. So the mission, it says Mystique has planted a bomb at the UN, hoping a war will start. Colonel Stryker sends a team of soldiers to stop you from intervening. Corner Mystique so Professor X can read her mind and find the bomb. Additional setup. So we set up all these tiles here, and when we land on them, we'll get that benefit. We have the setup of all the troopers, the riot control, and the captain, and the sniper doesn't do anything. It's just a kind of a thing in the background. We have these question mark things. So it says the goal is to close in on Mystique, place a clear tile on 3 politicians, then move all heroes to the exit, or defeat all henchmen. That's always the bonus objective, is if you clear everybody, then you can leave. But our main primary objective is to find Mystique. So revealing tiles, it says there's 2 ways to reveal a mystery tile. At the conclusion of your movement phase, any mystery tile that have a hero adjacent to them are flipped face up, resolved in turn order, and then the start player may spend 3 momentum during the main phase to reveal one of the mystery tiles. When you reveal a tile, if it's an X, all clear, replace the tile with a flag tile here. This space is can now be moved through, and then distribute 1 momentum. So we'll get a 1 momentum. I'll explain what that currency is in a bit. It says and then if you find a check mark, so if it looks like this, the player that revealed it suffers 4 collateral damage and gains 2 momentum. Then replace the check mark tile with a clear tile. The space can be moved through. If there is at least 2 other tiles are unrevealed, Mystique hides again. Replace 1 unrevealed mystery tile with a face down with one of these, and mix them up and put them on the remaining politicians. Upon completion, if you fail the main objective, distribute 4 health and 3 momentum and flip the board for the final battle. If we do a perfect reward, which is if we defeat all the henchmen, we'll get an additional 7 health and 4 momentum. So there is an incentive to try to take everybody out. Part of setup that we didn't do is the crisis clock, so it starts at noon and we roll a die, and the value makes it move that many spaces down, and then it'll start going from there. We started with our 2 CP, our 0 momentum. We're going to draw 4 cards, and let's go ahead and hop into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move. Here's our token. I kind of want to take out this captain first and foremost, just because he's kind of bulky and he's the only one with ranged damage. So some people can do melee, some can do ranged. Range can hit you from anywhere on the board. Melee you have to be adjacent to. All your attacks by default are melee, but if you spend 1 momentum, you can use that momentum to make an attack ranged. And then if you're being attacked ranged, you can spend a momentum to defend with your defensive roll. Our ability is clandestine. So we're going to go to this guy. We land on this tile, which means we get this reward. It's 2 CP. So we're going to get 2 CP, which is 2 money. Now, normally, we would go into, after we move, we go to our hero part 1. So we do our upkeep phase, we do our income, and we do our main phase, and then our offensive roll. So upkeep, we would do any effects that require upkeep. Then our income, we draw a card and get a CP. And then main phase is play cards, use our abilities, things like that. We skip the income phase on the first deal. But we do get to do our main phase. So I could do Clandestine, throw this down as an upgrade, Clandestine 2. I think maybe we want to do that. So let's go ahead. I like getting stuff upgraded. So let's spend 2 to do Clandestine 2. It's going to replace our defensive roll. So when we do a defensive roll, we'll roll 3 dice. For every dagger that comes up, we do 2 damage. And then on a dagger and a blade and a mind, we get to draw a card, and on a blade and a starlight, we get to gain an agility. It's going to replace that there. Now, most characters have 5 dice. She has a 6th die. That's one of our special abilities called the manifest die. When we roll this, we roll it on our first roll attempt, and then we set it here. And whatever the value is, we can keep rolling. And then whenever we attack, we can use it as an attack modifier. So whatever the value is, rounded down, or I'm sorry, halved, rounded down, we can add as an attack modifier, or we can replace a die used during our offensive roll. So if I rolled a 6 there, and I did this or something, if I wanted to, I could replace this with this to make that, help me make a set. Because we've got 2 blades, 2 sides, a mind, and a starlight. So we have 4 symbols instead of 3 symbols. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go into our offensive roll. So I'm gonna target this captain guy here. He's got 3 shield and 14 health. So let's go ahead and roll. Okay, so this is going to get set aside here. And we kind of think about what we got going on. So we have, we're going to try to make some of these things here. We can do 7 here, but we will need to basically roll another, we need to roll a 3 or 4. We can hit him for 7. We have a 1, a 2, I would say maybe the straight could go through. Maybe we keep. Let's keep this and roll this and see if we can get a 3 or 4. Okay, there's a 4. We're going to take it. So we're going to take this. We're going to do parry. Because we did not spend this manifest die to complete our action, we're going to get an additional attack bonus. So it's half of 1 rounded up as 1. So it's going to do 8 damage. Plus we gain an agility. He's got 3 shields, so 3 gets absorbed, leaving him doing 5 damage, so he's down to 9. What agility does for us is when a player with this token would receive damage, they may spend it and roll a die. If the outcomes 1 through 3 prevent half that damage rounded up. Okay, so then we complete our offensive roll. They do not have defensive rolls, so that's it. With that, then we would go to our main phase 2. So if we wanted to play anything else, we could. And then finally, we're going to discard if we have anything above 6, and then get that money. Then we're going to go into enemy upkeep. So if they have any effects, that would matter for that, but they don't. Then we're going to go into the henchman / boss roll. So they're going to roll these 4 dice. There's 4 dice. There's always 4 dice. I'm sorry, there's 3 dice and then an additional black die. There's 2 red dice and a black dice and then an additional black die per player. So we have 4 in our case. So we're going to roll. And then when we roll this, whatever the symbols are going from left to right will activate those effects. So we'll roll. And we have 3 of the orange symbol. So the troopers would activate. Now the troopers are not adjacent to us and they do melee damage, so they're not going to activate. We would go here. This combination of dice didn't come up. We would go here. This combination of dice didn't come up. Then we go here, and he would attack because one of these came up. So he has a multi-strike, which means it attacks everybody on the board, every player on the board. It has range, so it's going to hit us no matter what. It's the sniper here. This is somebody we cannot deal with. It's just kind of passive damage that we're going to be dealing with throughout the game. If the targeted opponent is not adjacent to a henchman, deal 3 undefendable damage. We are adjacent to a henchman, so we will not. We won't take the damage. So that's it. And then we move the crisis clock 1 space forward. As it lands on these spaces, there are crisis abilities that happen. We do want to deal with some of these enemies because as these abilities happen, we're going to be taking damage across here. Okay, so that's going to be it. And now we would go. So now we would move if we wanted to. I think I'm going to stay where I am because I want to finish off this captain, especially if I can get rid of him before his ability activates. So he's got 9 health. We're not going to move. We'll go into our income. We'll draw a card and we'll get a CP. Before we roll anything, let's do Vegas Baby. So we'll roll a die. We'll gain half of that value rounded, half of the die value rounded up. So we get 1 CP. That's fine. And then let's spend 2 CP for triple up. It's going to let us draw 3 cards. So 1, 2, and 3. Use a manifest die to increase your attack, damage, heal for the same amount. Okay. Okay, let's go into our offensive roll. I need to see if I can somehow get 9 damage off. Okay, so we're going to keep this here. What do we have? We've got... Oop, that was this. This will give us 2. How can I get ourselves some more damage? This will get us 2. Really, if we can roll this into a 1, a 1 or 2, we can do it. There's a 6. I'm going to roll it again. Okay, cool. So we're going to do parry again. It's going to gain us another agility, and then we're going to do 7 damage plus this, which is 1.5 rounded up as 2, so it's going to do 9 total damage. This guy's defeated. So since he's defeated, we're going to gain ourselves 2 momentum. And he's off the board now. So he's defeated. We can move through this space. So now we can go check this person out if we snap here. The other thing you can use momentum for is to recruit an ally here. And we can only have one ally. We can only have one ally. This is the recruit cost for that ally. So it may come up for us later to do so. We've got Cable, Captain America, and Professor X. What's he do? Once per round during your opponent's roll phase, spend 3 to change the target of a henchman to a different henchman. That might be kind of interesting to do a little bit later. Okay, so we're done with our turn. We are going to do their roll. So nobody's adjacent to me right now. So he would attack, or no, he doesn't do anything. He would attack, but I'm not adjacent to him. He would attack me, but he's defeated. And now this is going to attack me for 3 damage. I'm just going to take the hit. Although I could use agility and just prevent most of it. So let's use agility, because we're going to get these tokens back anyway. So we're going to use agility. We would take 3 damage. That's undefendable. But we'll roll this. It was a 3. So because it's a 3, we prevent half of it rounded up. So we're going to prevent 2 damage. We only take 1. Again, this hit us because we are not adjacent to a henchman anymore. All right. So movement time. Now, we started with 45 health. Our health in solo is 45, but it increases. Its maximum is 55. It's 10 plus that. Actually, I need to move the crisis clock. So let's move the crisis clock now. Actually, this way I need to use the agility for. Crisis clock happens. So for the troopers, it says once per undefeated trooper, deal 2 damage to all heroes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to do 8 damage since it's dealing collateral damage. I believe I can. It's not defendable, but it's preventable. Collateral damage, not defendable, but it is avoidable. Cannot be modified. Avoidable. Can be reduced, prevented, avoided, or interrupted. So we're gonna use this again. Do I have anything I can use here? Yeah, we're gonna try to use this and roll. It's a 1, so we've prevented half of it, so we only take 4 damage. Not prevented, maybe that's the wrong word. And now because this guy's taken out, his crisis ability won't matter. So okay, so we want to move. I need to move through. But I don't want to be in between these guys because if they activate, they're both going to hit me. So let's move here and try to take this guy out. We're going to go here. We're going to get this. It's going to heal 2 for us. And then if I can defeat him, I don't mind fighting this guy on his own. So we're going to go after him. Let's draw a card and get our CP. Let's see. What do we have? Okay. I think that's it. So let's roll. Ooh. Can we do something interesting? So I do have, if you use your manifest die, if you use the manifest die to increase your attack damage, heal that amount of damage. This lets us constrict. It says if you have not used your manifest die, re-roll it. So I'm going to activate that to re-roll this. Oh, come on. Okay, well, it's not going to really do us any good. Maybe we keep these and we re-roll these and we try to go for paralysis. We do have this and this. Let's re-roll again. So it's our last roll. Okay. So we're going to go opt for this devise. We're going to do 3 undefendable damage. So he goes down to 9 because the shield doesn't matter. And then if we did not use... Oh, it's actually 8. Sorry, because I get an additional attack for that. And then if you did not use the manifest die to activate its ability, gain 1 CP, which I didn't. So we get to do that. I want to use mind altering, but not yet because I need it. I want to increase more health. Okay. All right. So now let's go with them. All right. So we're gonna look. They're not gonna activate. I'm not adjacent to this guy. He's not gonna activate. I'm not gonna. I'm adjacent to him, but he's dead. They're gonna attack me, but I'm adjacent to a henchman, so I'm not gonna take damage. We'll move the crisis clock. Nothing happens there, so we're good on that. And then we'll go into our next phase here. I'm gonna move here to heal 3. And we're going to fight this guy, so let's draw up, get our CP. I'm going to spend 1 CP to do double up to draw 2 cards. Okay, let's spend 2 for paralysis 2 and immobile, which goes here. So now I've got this ability. My paralysis now does 1 extra damage. And then here, I can do immobile. I'll gain agility and infiltration, and I can deal 4 damage. Since I can't really use this, choose an opponent and examine their hand, I'm going to discard this for 1 CP. Another thing to note is that any status effects that you can't use, or you can opt not to use them, you can't use them because it like would require the enemy to like do a reroll or to limit their offensive rolls or something like that. When that ability happens, you just gain a momentum. So, or you can choose not to apply a status, or if they're at their stack limit and you want to do a status and you can't, or whatever, you can get a momentum instead. So you can use momentum. You can gain momentum for some of those things. So, okay. Let's go ahead and roll. That goes there. And then we've got a bunch of 1s here. The question is, do I want to keep going with that and try to see if I can swing for 8 damage? Or I can do this. We can do paralysis 2. So let's actually do paralysis 2. We're going to inflict paralysis. So we inflict the paralysis. When you inflict the damage, it goes there. It does 7 damage plus 1, 8. So it's going to knock this off and do another 5. And then on my main phase, I have... Ooh, Shattered would be really nice. I can deal 2 damage to an isolated as an isolated source of undefendable damage to an opponent that is afflicted with paralyze. Oh, okay. Well, I could do it, but it's not. I don't think it's going to matter. So they're going to do their roll now. So this guy would pop off. He's going to, since I'm adjacent to him, he is going to attack me for 7. He's going to hit me for 7. I don't think I have anything to alter their dice, so I don't think I do. So we're going to do our defensive roll. He's going to hit me for 7. We get to roll 3 dice. Let's roll these 3, because I know the 1s are showing. With our Clandestine 2, we're going to do 4 undefendable damage back, and we're going to gain an agility. I could use this agility here, but I'll just take the 7 damage. But I do the damage back. He's defeated. We gain 2 momentum. And then we would have nobody else activates because I'm not adjacent to anybody. And for melee, and then we go here and we lose a CP. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to move up here. I'm going to end my movement. This gets flipped over. It's an X. So we know that this is clear. That's going to give us that's going to give us 1 momentum. Let's get our deal and draw. Okay. We're going to discard this force to get a CP. And then we're going to spend 2 CP for devise 2. This changes this from 3 damage to 4 damage, and we get strong shield, gain 2 infiltration and 2 agility. Infiltration, a player with this token may spend it and then choose a die rolled by any player, including themselves, during their defensive roll attempt. The chosen die must be re-rolled. Okay. Do I want to recruit? Do I want to recruit somebody? Let's spend a momentum to get Professor X. So we've got once per round during your opponent's roll phase, we can spend 3 to make them target somebody else. So he's our boy here. We'll replenish this. And then, like I said, you can actually use momentum to target from a distance. So we'll think about doing that here in a minute. So let's do our offensive rolls. Ooh, there's a 3. Let's see, what do we have? We've got 1. Okay. If I can get a dagger, we can do this move, and then I can target him over there because... And then I can make my way over there. I can use momentum to target this guy. So I think that's the play. We're going to re-roll. Oh, no, we have everything we need. We have everything we need. Okay. So we have everything we need. We're going to do Devise 2. I'm going to spend a momentum to make this attack ranged. We're going to do Devise 2. It's going to hit this guy. So it's going to be 4... excuse me, 4, 5, 6 damage total. He goes down to 6 because it's undefendable. So he goes right through his shield. And then I do gain a CP for not using this die. Let's roll their roll. Nobody activates against me because the only guys that would are this guy, and he's not adjacent to me, and his attack's melee. We move the crisis clock, and then it's our go again. I think let's go ahead and go here. This will give us a damage multiplier, so we get to add that to an attack. We end our movement. There is a Mystique, so this Mystique's going to deal us 4 damage. We'll take it instead of using our agility, and we're going to gain 2 momentum. And then this is cleared. And then if there are 2 left, we're going to take one of these and shuffle them up. Like that. Okay. Okay. So let's draw our card and get our CP. Okay. Okay. Let's just go ahead and go into our roll here. Okay, we've got that. Well, can we do any sort of undefendable damage? Or maybe we can paralyze. Can I do 4 and paralyze? I don't think I can. Let's see if we can get Dancing Blade off. We're gonna see if we can do it. So we're gonna have to get really lucky, but we'll see if we can. Okay, I don't think it's gonna happen. I do have an idea though. Maybe we can. We might just have to try to do as much as we can here. So we've got 3 1s here. Let's re-roll this. We'll keep those 1s and just try to do that. Okay. We've got 4 1s here. We're just going to do lunge. It's going to do 6 damage plus 1, 7 damage. He's got 9 shield. So the shield all takes it. Because I think they use shield, and then if anything, there isn't change, right? It says after using all enemies will spend any shield necessary to prevent all damage by an attack if there are any other positive effects that could fully prevent the damage. Hold on. I think the shield works where they will take... A spent shield prevents 3 damage and then it's discarded. A shield would be spent even if it only prevents 1 damage. Okay, so the shield prevents everything. So the shield's gone. We at least did all that to get rid of that. Let's... yeah, we're going to keep our hand. We're going to roll again. Okay, so... He's going to hit me for 7, and then he would hit me, but isn't going to. We could do Professor X. We can spend 3 to choose one of the targets of henchman attack. Yeah, we're going to... do I want to take the 7 damage? I think that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna take it. So he's gonna do 7 damage to us and he's gonna gain a shield, and then he's gonna do 7 damage to us. We're gonna go into our defensive roll. So we're gonna roll 3. We would deal 1 damage back plus gain an agility. I'm gonna spend the agility that I gained. So we're gonna do 2 damage back to him. It's undefendable. And we're gonna roll for the 1. It's a 4. Let's spend the other agility because we should be able to spend both of them, because it specifically says on the back that you can spend 2 agility, and I know we can spend 1 when we get it, so we're going to spend the other one. And we prevent half the damage, so he would hit us for 7. Half of 7 is 3.5 rounded to 4, so I take 4 damage. He took his 2 back and it was undefendable, so I think we're good there. And then this would hit us, but because we're adjacent to a henchman, we are not going to receive the 3 undefendable damage. Okay, we'll move the Crisis Clock, inflict Wither on all heroes per undefeated guy. So we get 2 Wither tokens. Wither is going to reduce the damage we deal by 1 for each Wither token. Okay. Let's move up here. We'll get another +1 attack token. Those will negate those for right now. Let's draw and get our deal. Transfer 1 status from a chosen player to another chosen player. So I think I can move this if I need to. I would like to just clear them if I can. Okay, let's just roll. I just need to do 7 damage. Can I roll these 2? I've got a 1, 2... If I roll a 3, I could get a large straight. I think I'm going to roll for more of my blades. There's another blade. Okay. So we're going to swap this out. And it's going to be 7 damage minus 2 plus 2. We're going to spend these. So it's going to net 7. That gets rid of the shield and the health. It's going to clear this guy. We're going to get 2 momentum. We're going to go into the bad guy roll. He would hit us, but we're not adjacent to him. And then the sniper's going to hit us and deal 3 undefendable damage. And we're going to take that damage. We're at 27. Okay. All right, and we'll move the Crisis Clock. Okay. Let's do our movement. We'll move here. This gets flipped. All right. That gets unrevealed. We'll get a momentum. So that means that this is the last one, so we've got to reveal this and then get out. Oh, it says actually close it on Mystique and place 3 on politicians and then move. So I've already placed 3 on politicians, so I can leave. I can leave after this, but I think I'm not going to because I want to kind of remove some status tokens before I go fight Mystique. So let's draw our card. We'll play Getting Paid to get 2 CP. Let's see. Let's play Depths of the Mind. We can roll 1 die, and it says on Starlight we'll get 2 agility and 2 infiltration. On any other draw, we'll just draw a card. So we got the 2 of these and the 2 of these. Infiltration, this is a player with this token may spend it and then choose a die rolled by any player during their defensive roll attempt to the die. Then the chosen die must be re-rolled. Let's see. Thinking about, well, we'll worry about it later. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll here. We'll roll on this trooper. So we have 2 here. What do we have? We've got 2 of these, which could be nice. We could just kind of clear this guy if possible. Let's re-roll those. We're going to re-roll these again. Okay, what do we have? Can we do something with this? We could swap this out with this, giving us devise 2. It's going to deal 4 undefendable, putting him at 8. And then we did use our die for this. Oh, 6. Sorry, it's going to put him at 10. Because I have the 2 wither tokens. Okay. When this says, if you use your manifest die to increase your attack, okay, we didn't do it this time. Okay, so there's that. They're going to attack. We do not get hit by anything because this guy doesn't pop off. I'm not adjacent to this guy. And then this guy, because I'm adjacent to a bad guy, he's not going to hit us. Let's move here. And we're going to transfer 1 status token. So we're going to transfer the status wither to here. Or gain 2 momentum. But I'm just going to transfer the wither token there. We're going to get our CP and we're going to draw a card. Where are all my upgrades at? Okay. I'm going to target this guy again. So we have this 2 here. We have a 3, 4, and 5. We could go for a straight. Let's do that. Let's roll these 2. There's a 6, so I need a 1 or a 2, which I've got the 2 here. Worst case. Oh, here's a 2. Okay, so we have this large straight. It's going to deal 8 damage, 9 damage, -1, 8 damage. What does this say? If you use your manifest die to increase your attack damage, heal for the same amount. Mind alter. If you use your manifest die to increase your attack damage, heal for the same amount. Is this heal for the amount of my modifier, or is this heal for the amount of damage I'm doing? I'm going to activate this. I read this, and please tell me if I'm wrong. If you use your manifest die to increase your attack damage, heal for the same amount. I read it as the modifier. So you'll have to let me know, but I think it's the modifier. So if you use it to modify, increase your attack damage, to increase your attack damage, heal for the same amount. So I'm going to heal for 1. If it's 1 or if it's 8, tell me which one it is. I'm not totally sure. Or 7. But we're going to do 8 damage because this increases by 1, but this decreases by 1. And he's going to get a paralyze. 3 get knocked off. And then that's 5. If I was supposed to heal 8, let me know. But I don't think I'm not sure if I was or not. And then on... maybe I'll wait to do this shattered. Okay. So they're going to do their roll. Again, I won't take anything because I'm adjacent to a henchman, and then there's no 3 of the orange. And then this will get removed after the roll. When a player with this token concludes their roll, we'll remove it. So we take it off of him. All right. Oh, this moves over. I don't know if I moved that last time, so I didn't move that last time. So I'll just discard something. I'll discard this, and then I think it moves again. I think I missed the movement, so I'll catch it up there. Okay. So now let's move. I'm going to stay where I am. Or I guess I could exit. You know what? Let's just exit. I don't think I need anything else. We'll just run through it. So let's exit. So we'll get out. So now that we exit it, we're going to reset the game. Not reset completely, but we're going to flip over because we've completed the objective. Because upon completion, we're going to gain 4 health and get 3 momentum. 1, 2, 3. And then 4 health, putting us at 32. And we're going to flip to Mystique. We're going to place these on the board. Ooh, there's a +6 health. And then, so we have, so we Mystique. Humans will never accept us. We must scare them into submission. So Professor Xavier reads Mystique's mind, and you rush to the bomb. Mystique refuses to let you in. There's no way you'll stop our plans. Boss setup is start with 20 health plus 20 health per hero plus 3 health per oppression token. We don't have any oppression tokens, so she just comes in with 40 health. Main objective here is to reduce her health to 0. You win. Upon completion, you win. Mystique is captured and the bomb is undefused. We're going to do the same thing with the crisis clock. So it's going to move 5 spaces down. Now, this is going to do a couple different things. So when we roll, we do the leftmost thing we possibly can. She does that ability, and then she does have a defensive roll. And then each crisis clock thing is going to do some stuff based on this. So we just come into a spot. And I think right off the bat, let's come into this spot here. Remove 1 status token. We're going to move this wither from ourselves. And we're going to go ahead and roll. No, not roll yet. We did our movement. We're gonna get our CP and draw. Sorry, I got confused. Okay, now we're gonna roll because I don't think I need to play anything at the moment. Okay, so that goes here. Okay, we've got 2 6s. Do I want to go for? Let's go for it. Let's go for this. There's another 6. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so we got this. We're going to do tip it. So we're going to spend a CP. Increase or decrease the value of a die by 1. So we're going to increase this to a 6. It's going to give us Blade Dance. We're going to gain those tokens, but we're already at limit. And then deal 6 undefendable damage, plus our attack modifier, which is going to be 8 undefendable damage. Yeah, 8 damage. So she goes down to 32. Because it's undefendable, she will not do her defensive roll. Then she's going to roll. So first thing she does is roll. The values of the red dice, we're going to put one of these crit tokens down. So on the 1 space and on the 4 space. If I land on that space, or if I'm standing on a space with a crit, I'll take the damage of the attack plus the crit damage at the bottom. And then if I have the token, once I land on a space within, I take that token. And I take the crit, we'll flip it over and get whatever the bonus is. Okay, so let's see what she activates. She is going to activate Deadly Contortion. It's a ranged attack. She gains Evasive and deals 10 damage. So she gains Evasive, which we'll talk about what that is in a moment. And then she's going to deal 10 damage. I think I might use Professor X. It says prevent all damage and ignore. I can exhaust him to prevent all damage. Or maybe we use our agility. Let's use agility. So we're going to use agility. Or no, we do our defensive roll first, and then we'll take the damage. So we'll do our defensive roll because it's that. So let's defensive roll. We'll roll 3 dice. We'll see what we get here. So with our defensive roll, we kind of got nothing. Let's do better D. A chosen player may perform an additional roll attempt up to 5 dice during their defensive roll. So I'm going to do that again. Okay, so I did get this. We got these. So we're going to deal 2 damage back, undefendable. We are going to draw a card. And we're going to gain agility. She's going to do 10 to us. I'm going to use my agility tokens. So we're going to use the first agility token here to roll. I prevent half of it. I'm going to use the other agility token to prevent half of it, which means I take no damage. And it specifically says on here, if you prevent half damage of an incoming attack twice, 100% damage is prevented. This is because all damage and prevention is calculated simultaneously at the conclusion of the phase. So I take no damage, and then she takes the damage back for the clandestine. Okay, and then we'll move the crisis clock. We roll a die. If it ends up on an orange, she heals 3, and it doesn't, so we're good there. Okay. So I didn't have to use Professor X. So I can move. I'm going to move here for the 6 health. Then she does have an evasion token, so it says when a henchman and boss with evasion tokens will prevent all damage, dealing 4+ damage, or a lethal amount. Evasion token. When a player with the token receives damage, they may choose to spend it. If they do, roll one die. If the outcome is 1 or 2, no damage is received. Okay. Let's draw our card and get our CP. We're going to spend 2 for parry 2. It does... oh, it gains 2 agilities. I'm like, what else does it do? Okay, let's roll. Seriously? There you go. Okay, so that comes out here. We could just do devise. Do we want to do that? Devise. We could do devise for 4, 5, 6. I think that's what we do. And then we'll get a CP. So it's going to do 6 damage. It says, okay. So then she'll activate the evasion token. So this gets discarded. They're going to roll a die. It's a 5, so they don't lose the damage. They still take the damage. And then I'm going to do backflip as an instant action. Because I should be able to do this whenever, right? Yeah, so I'm going to do this. It says gain an agility and roll a die. So I'm going to gain an agility. We're going to roll a die. Upon the result, we get something. And I don't get anything for it. Okay. So there's that. They're going to attack. We're going to add to 6 and to 3. She hits for the first thing. No, for the second. No, for the first thing. Hits for 10 and gains an evasion token. Hits for 10. We'll do our defensive roll. We're going to do 2 back and draw a card. And then I'm going to spend my agility to roll a die to see if I can prevent some of it. I prevent 5 damage. So she takes 2 back. I draw a card and take 5 damage. Crisis Clock moves. Inflict dominance. So this gets inflicted to us on all heroes. Then deal 10 collateral damage among heroes divided in any way desired by the starting player. So I'm going to spend the 2 momentum to prevent all damage and ignore all. So it's completely prevented. So he's gone, but it prevents the damage. Because collateral damage is, it's not defendable, but it's avoidable and cannot be modified. So it's avoidable, so I avoided it. Okay. So dominance tokens, they're pretty rough. It says when a player starts with its attack, when they attack, they must roll a die. On a 1, they must choose a teammate to target instead. If they cannot, they discard 1 card randomly, then remove the token. 2 through 5, nothing happens. On 6, we discard the token. So let's get ours. I'll show you what this looks like. So we'll go here. We'll take this. So this is going to be a crit, and we're going to gain 2 health. And then we're going to go ahead and get our CP and draw. I can transfer a status to another player. Well, we'll worry about that. We'll just roll. Okay. That gets there. What do we want to do here? We can roll and try to do parry 2. So we'll try to do that. We didn't get it. We did get it. So we're going to parry 2. It's going to do 7, 8, 9, 10 damage and get us 2 agility. We're going to roll a die. So 3. So nothing happens. But she takes 10 damage. She's going to use her evasion token. It lands on a 6. But she loses this, but she takes the 10 damage. Is that right? Wait, when a player with this token would receive damage, they choose to spin it. They can roll 1 die. If the outcome is 1 or 2, no damage received. Yeah, so she takes 10. And then on her defensive ability, remove 1 negative status token from herself, including any incoming. I didn't inflict any, so she's not going to have to deal with that. Okay, we'll do her roll. Oh, I need to roll this one too. So the 1 gets 2 of these, which is here. And then she would go to hit on this one. It does 4 undefendable damage. So I take 4 damage. Although I can use one of these to try to... We can do Strong Will. It says, can only play after attack. You may remove 1 agility to prevent half the damage coming in. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're only going to take 2 damage. And then we're going to take the crit ability here, which is Bleed. Bleed says... I don't know what all these statuses do. A player with this must roll a die on upkeep. On a 1 and 4, they're dealt 1 damage. On 5 or 6, they remove the token. Okay, so that happens. We move the Crisis Clock. We roll 1 of these dice. Her health increases by 3. Oh, and then I do get this token, which is going to get me an evasion. Okay, so we're going to roll a die on our up... Well, do I want to move... We're going to move up here, and we're going to remove a status from ourselves. I'm going to remove this dominance token. And then on our upkeep phase, we'll roll the die. It's a 1. We're dealt a damage. Okay. Let's draw our card. Get our CP. Let's spend 2 to get Cable. So Cable, once per round during your main phase, you can exhaust to heal 4, move the Crisis Clock forward 1 or 2, move backwards or forwards 1 or 2 spaces, triggering no effects. Let's exhaust him, so it's gonna discard him. We're gonna heal 4, and then we can move the Crisis Clock. 1, 2. We're gonna do that. Okay. Then let's roll. Whoops. Let's see if we can get our ultimate attack off. Do we have anything to manipulate here? Change the value of 1 die, change the value of 2 dice. Okay, I think we can do this. Okay. We're going to do So Wild. So we'll spend a CP. Change the value of any 1 dice. This is going to turn to a 6. Then we're going to do twice as wild. For 3 CP, change the value of any 2 dice to 6. It's going to be our ultimate move. So we're going to do 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. It's going to give us an agility and inflict paralysis. And then I guess on my second main phase I could do Shatter to take her out, but we'll play it out. Okay. Oh, and then her thing is remove a negative status token. So this gets removed from her, so I couldn't actually do it anyway. Okay. So then they're going to roll. They cannot activate... They can activate this. I'm sorry. So they are going to do 8 damage to... Oh, and I had to spend a momentum to do it ranged, so I didn't do. So I spent some momentum to be ranged. This is not. So she's not hitting us because we're not within range here. So she actually doesn't hit us this turn. And then this moves. We'll roll a die. If it lands on an orange, she gets a shield. Okay. We'll move in over here. We'll take this and draw a card. And then we'll get our CP and draw a card. We'll spend a CP. Oh no, we gotta do upkeep. It's a 1, so we take the damage. We'll spend 1 to get out of here. We'll move this status token. We will spend 2 to increase stealth. And then we'll roll. Okay, that goes here. We just need to do, oh my gosh. Does this do anything? It doesn't. We're re-rolling everything. We have 2, 3. Oh, we've got this. So we're going to do that, and it's going to do 4 undefendable damage, and since we didn't use this, we'll get a CP, and she's defeated. Alright, so that's it. That is a playthrough of Dice Throne missions. So this is one of the difficulty 2 bosses. She's not too bad. I didn't know what to do the first game when I played her, so she kind of annihilated me. Not, I won, but it was barely. So increasing difficulty, it says when adding 1 or more levels of difficulty, perform the following steps. So we can add an additional black die to the enemy pool, add oppressive tokens, henchman health increase. The crisis clock can increase to +1, so it'll move 2 spaces. And then the boss setup is there's an effect for the oppression token. So we can add these difficulty modifiers to make things a little harder. Maybe if she had another black die, then she would activate more often. We got lucky with her activations. But that's going to be a playthrough of Marvel missions. There are, I think, 20 of these bosses. So there's a ton of bosses. And obviously with Dice Throne, there is the 8 X-Men characters, Deadpool, and then the original 8 Avengers. So there is a plethora of cards to play and characters to do. So we'll do another playthrough very soon. Like I said, this was my most anticipated game last year and it didn't deliver till this year. So we'll do something that's a little more difficult for the next one and maybe try one of the Avengers characters. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.